Welcome to the Midwest Moguls Show, where we talk all things business, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Let's dive into today's episode and make business enjoyable again. Make sure to get up on this mic.
Put in the hot seat.
Where's D-Loader today? Just busy?
He's working on his crib.
Hey, was that actually a legit, like a thumbnail thing or like a cover art?
For the picture?
Cowboy hat?
You should tag that in this
What was
video.
that?
Oh, I definitely will. Is that actually legit?
Yeah, it's legit.
Is he going to have that as
he did just fuck around. Yeah.
Joe, you need to see
I
this.
need to see this, yeah.
Josh should show it to you. That
I
was
forgot to send you that.
Oh, that was so funny. And I'm like,
Wearing a cowboy hat?
I don't know. Where'd you send that to me on?
I sent it in a group text, so you probably
Okay.
Yeah, so you muted it. Didn't see it.
That was so funny, though.
Carter and Derek.
What was it? It's like something apartment investing. Because he was
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, he does podcast.
No way.
That is.
The bolo tie and everything. Oh,
Let me see this again.
God.
Who did this? Who did that? Did he just
Derek
hire
did.
someone?
You did it? That is hilarious.
He photoshopped it. Oh,
That is
God.
too
That's
funny.
hilarious.
You see this one?
No. What the
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
What the fuck?
Is he busy today?
That's too
You didn't
funny.
even respond to that one.
Oh. What the hell is... Oh my God. Who is this? But...
That's the guy from Storage Wars.
Oh,
Hester.
yeah, I remember you sent me that. I'm like, I had no idea who that was. You said something about storage collections, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I have no idea who that is.
That is hilarious.
I'll be like on site at the storage facility,
Yeah.
like taking videos on Snap, and I'll like tag him and like
That's
a sticker
so
of him
funny.
on there. Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah.
That's hilarious. That's when I got. So I was just like, I got a random message this morning. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this makes no sense. And I had no idea who it was, so I Googled the phone number, and it's a real estate agent. Hi, do you know if you have any eggs?
What?
And then she said her name. And then I'm like, what
Hey.
the fuck? I didn't even I'm like, what is that supposed to
Any
mean?
eggs? Sorry, wrong Carter.
I got a weird
Oh my God. I had-
voicemail last night, like late last night.
From what?
Just I don't know who it was. I guess the guy's name is Jack. Here, I'll play it.
Put it in the mic.
Hey, Joe, just Jack. Just want to call and say hey before I go to bed. And just got back from the cop shop, so nothing going on there. That's all. They just had to go through routine and shit, and not a problem there. I don't care. But anyways, I'm home safe and sound. So just wanted to call and say good night to you guys. Have a good night. All right, later. Bye.
They definitely thought it was someone else.
Yeah, definitely a different Joe.
What's the
Did you call
the
him
phone
back and
number?
say
Yeah, what's the
goodnight?
phone number?
920.
Just wait. Well, 920.
Carter's on TruePeopleSearch.com.
Yeah.
Best.
You
way
said
to
it was
find
Jim?
people's
Is it?
Oh yeah, that's what I use. Huh?
What was the guy's name? Jim?
Jack.
Jack? Well, maybe it goes by Jack.
That's what. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he said.
Interesting.
What pulls up?
Place
anything?
on Oneida Street. It's like an apartment complex.
I mean, I have no idea. I've never heard of the guy. I'd never
Yeah.
seen the number.
Yeah, that's what it shows.
Let me see if
He must know you, Joe.
Apparently, or he knows.
Last name
he knows-
McEssie.
All I have
Nothing?
all I have is Joe, or all I have is Jack.
You know what he was probably doing? He was probably just dialing random numbers.
That's what I was thinking. Honestly, just wanting someone to talk to.
He left.
Yeah.
Left you a voicemail.
Yep.
I might leave
like-
him one tonight.
Hey, just thinking of
But
you.
it was late. It was like 11. God, what time was it?
I should have. I don't even know if I have it on my phone. I got a phone call.
11:10.
Oh, that's late.
Yeah.
I would be like, what the hell is going on?
Like I heard my phone going off. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's calling me
Yeah.
at this time? And I just sent it straight to voicemail. And then I listened to it this morning. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
saw-
got one.
Saw Jack. I'm like, I know a Jack, but that's not
That's so
him.
strange.
That's an old guy that
Yeah.
I have no idea. So
I know.
interesting.
Do you have any weird voicemails?
I have some, but I don't know if I should play them on here.
Is it like really strange? We'll mute it if it's like a person that
No, like my friends will like leave me really funny
Oh,
voicemails, like really funny ones.
That's,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll look before I pull one of these.
inbox must be full. Holy shit! You don't delete your messages?
My
Are you
God.
serious?
Just in case.
You don't listen to
just
any
in
of them?
case.
Well, I know, but doesn't your voicemail get full?
I usually just call someone back like instantly.
Oh,
if
you
they
do?
call me, or I'll,
Okay.
I'll call back. I don't even listen to the voicemail. I just call
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
I delete mine.
I
though.
look at the transcript.
Yeah.
Like if
that's
there's
what I
not a
do.
transcript, then I probably won't call back.
Yeah.
Or I
Right.
read the transcript and then I decide if I want to call back.
Yep,
So
yep.
it's-
Hey, did you guys
Oh,
see the new iPhone update where
No.
it like transcribes? You can see the transcription.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's what I.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that. And then when you hear them or see, like, it literally shows them talking and writes it all out for you.
Yeah.
And then you can read it and be like, oh, okay, I should probably pick this up.
I know. That's crazy. Just an update on that deal in the place that we bought with the lady.
Yeah.
So we closed on it, but she's still living there. So, and I don't know what it was, just kind of a freak thing because she sent 5,000 in gift cards to the individual, gone, and now we're trying to help her. I at least sent over some apartment resources in hopes that like something she can at least move. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, well, I don't know what
Yeah.
you do in that
You
scenario
can't-
because it's such a shitty situation, and obviously someone knew what they
Right.
were doing. And it's just a legitimate or not a illegitimate scam. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you got scammed before, you would think when someone asks for gift cards, that would be my
red flag?
Yeah, number one red flag. Send you any sort of information.
I don't know.
Like, why do you need gift cards? $5,000 of gift cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the IRS calling. I'm going to need you to pay your
Yeah, I know.
taxes in $100 Visa gift cards.
Yeah,
and
That's
we
what-
need
An
24 of them.
Apple gameplay.
I know. It's like there's so many different things out there though. And I
Yeah.
can see how people fall for it. Like even some of the I'm smart enough to not click on the emails, but you know what? My dad's not. So he was actually on the podcast yesterday.
Was
So,
he?
yeah, he popped in. That was actually a really good conversation. But he's like numerous times in the past, he's bought this shit online. Like he sees an ad on Facebook or whatever, and it was like a brand new set of Callaway golf clubs. He's like, oh yeah, it's only like $100 and some. So he buys it. Then he has to
gosh.
like fraudulent charge on his credit card. Then he's getting a new credit card. I'm like, holy shit.
Bryan goes through a credit card every month.
Yeah, no shit.
Because he has to cancel it.
I know.
for-
It's a risk you got to take to make
Yeah.
that bread.
I guess so.
I'm like, come on, Dad. You're leading the business.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh my
But
gosh.
no, that was a little sketch.
At least it's not on the business card.
Oh,
or
shit.
I hope not.
No, it's on his whatever
On
his
his
personal
personal
card
one?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's probably had like fucking 4 new credit cards in the last couple of years.
Really?
Just from
Jesus.
well, he bought like this patio furniture. Same thing. He saw it on like a Facebook ad, and it's probably like a $1,100, $1,200 set of patio furniture. It's like, hey, like 1 day discount, $99. Just pay like shipping and handling. Bought it, never received it,
Oh.
and then he did a. So he bought something for his truck because it said like guaranteed to increase your horsepower and all this other stuff. Like you plug it in somewhere in the truck.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I
only
know.
thing you need to supercharge
I know.
a truck.
But that's what. So he bought that. He plugged it in. His gas mileage. We were heading up to the Door County property. Normally he averages like 16. It was at like 10.8. He takes it out, throws it in the garbage.
Oh my
And I'm like, well,
gosh.
Dad, that's kind of go figure what would
Yeah.
happen in that scenario.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah,
That's funny.
nonetheless, that was, Jesus, he's bought so much stupid shit that is not legitimate. So the fact that
funny.
people can fall for it, I
Yeah.
100% believe
Yes,
that's
that's true. Do you
no.
guys get a lot of those text messages about like UPS
Yeah.
packages
Yep,
or
yep.
Amazon? Yeah, I see that shit all the
Well,
time.
but I-
That's actually probably easy to fall for if you actually
Well,
buy
FedEx
something.
actually sends you something like that, like when they drop something off to make sure that, like, hey, this is a like overnight or if it's
Yeah,
priority
yeah.
mail, and on that, like, I don't even click on it because I'm like, I don't know if this is legit or not. I know I'm supposed to be receiving something, but
Yeah.
people could also know that as well, so
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never know. But
I always figure if it's something important enough, you're gonna get a phone call or
Yeah.
you're gonna get some other means that they'll try to contact
Right.
you with. I mean,
That's
if
what I would
it's-
think.
Yeah.
Or you check. Usually, what I do is I just go on the site
Mm-hmm.
that I purchased this item, and then I'll see on there.
Oh, the tracking?
Yeah, the tracking and everything, because that's the most reliable thing versus
That's true.
going off of a text message that could be scamming you.
I know.
So
when I know we were talking about before we jumped on here, but like with the duplex, what's the breakdown on that? Like what's the 3-bed, 2-bath,
Yep.
one tenant's been in there for like why are
Probably about a year, 2 years.
Okay.
Yep. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on each side, 2-car garage, full
Okay.
basement.
that's awesome.
It's a big building.
Yeah.
why
it's
doesn't he
huge.
buy it?
Well, he should.
Why don't you buy it,
Well, it's a little too late. You just bought it, did you
No,
not?
I didn't close on it yet.
Oh,
So
Joe?
Joe bought it.
That's probably not. That's exactly what you want.
yeah, yeah. I
3-bed,
guess
2-bath, 2-car garage.
It doesn't have much of a yard though.
Well, but there's a trailer park across the way you could run around.
There's plenty of dogs running around out there.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I do want to have like the house that I get or duplex, whatever. Like the main thing is going to be I want a decent yard because the whole reason why I want to get a house is to have Gunner be able to just go out, do his business, run around, and actually not have to drive out in the country just
Yeah.
to get him.
Well, you could just
fired up.
fence it in. There's probably enough to fence in, isn't there?
It's plenty of yard.
Yeah. So
Just
now you're
giving
just
Joe
making
a little bit of
excuses.
shit.
Yeah.
It's probably just like
No,
really
it's
small.
probably like whatever, a third of an acre lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's not
So
bad.
then that's more than enough.
well, maybe.
Especially if he's just gonna fucking dig it up anyways. You can't leave him outside unattended. There's gonna be holes
Yeah,
everywhere.
No
Yeah.
kidding. He'll
I know
dig
what our
under
yard
that
looked like.
fence. Oh my god. I don't know how do you stop a dog from digging like
I don't
that?
know if you can.
There has to be something.
You put like fucking chili powder in their holes and then they dig and then they get it in their snout. Seriously.
Then he has allergic reaction.
Let's see how to stop a
Yeah.
dog from digging. While I'm looking this up. Digging in the yard.
Lay grass.
Exercise your dog. Huh. Provide mental stimulation. Not just physical for the dog, Joe. Mental stimulation.
Which we
Use
I feel
digging
like they
deterrents.
do.
Place obstacles in the areas that your dog digs, such as chicken wire, flower beds, large rocks. Create a barrier.
I'm just gonna have all rock for my yard.
Yeah.
Provide
Pebbles.
enrichment. I don't know.
Dude, I saw this funny ass video the other day. It was like, not funny because a guy that we know, he has 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And he left for like an hour and they ate the shit out of his baseboard at his house. Like,
Oh,
sent me
That would be
pictures.
so terrible.
He was pissed.
Yeah,
I
I
would be too.
of course. What do I do when he's pissed off? I'm like, hey, check out this video. It's like dogs install linoleum flooring. And it was like a video of 2 dogs like ripping this floor up. And someone put it in reverse. So it
Yeah.
looked like they were in.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool.
Oh, it was so funny.
That's hilarious. That's what it's like. I think you just need to walk them more.
Well, that's the thing is I do walk them. I walk them every morning, and then after work I'll feed them, and then I take them on a little bit longer walk than what I do like in the morning. Basically, like maybe a mile or so.
I think you need to walk them more than that.
Well, yeah,
That's like 20 minutes.
yeah, I guess that's true.
And he's like a 150-pound dog.
It's not 150.
He's like
maybe
He's like a
80.
fucking
I think he's 80.
bull mastiff.
Yeah, I'll have to, I need to weigh him because I'm curious if
Oh,
he's
Joe, he's
gained
damn near
more
like
or not.
90 some.
No,
Oh yeah,
no.
he is so heavy. Like just like not
He's
like
just, like,
fat, but
dense,
like
yeah.
dense.
Yeah,
He's very very thick.
but he's been like that. Like he hasn't changed in size.
Well,
for the
you
past
see
couple,
him all the
Yeah.
time. Like he's gotten big. He's a big dog.
Yeah. Well, I know he's gotten big, but I think he's stopped. He's like kind of stopped growing at this point. So now it's just.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I think that's
I hope.
the actual reality
Come
of it,
back
though.
in
Yeah.
3 months.
But you should, after Josh buys the place, if he's trying to make a quick buck on it, which he said he was, you should probably look at
maybe.
it.
We'll see.
You're not going to move
Yeah.
in there. You just said you weren't going to move in there.
I'm going to move in there.
You
I,
better.
I have
Where are
to
you
move in
at
there.
right now?
I'm still at my duplex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I bought the place next door,
Yeah.
and then I sold the place next door, and I
Yeah.
moved back into the duplex.
Oh, I thought there was a
Oh.
tenant in there.
Yeah, short term, 2-3
Oh,
months
really?
here and there. Yeah,
Oh,
so
dang.
it all worked out.
Damn. Why was it just like a nurse or something? Or
No,
why did
it was a family friend.
Okay.
Moving from Wausau down here.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Well,
hooked
hey,
it
at least
up.
it worked out.
didn't have to move far.
Man, no shit.
60 feet.
That's
No
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool.
So I guess when you're living in like house hacking it and living in one side, does the rent usually cover the full amount of your mortgage, or is it probably not the full amount, but you're just paying maybe an extra $500 or something like that? I don't know.
Pretty much. It's I think my payment there is like $1,580 for like
Okay.
taxes, insurance.
Yeah. And
everything.
taxes are high.
Taxes are
Oshkosh.
Yeah.
unpaved
insane.
road too.
Fucking Cope Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill. So it's like $1,500. The guy pays $950. So it's
Yeah.
600 ish a month.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and you own the place, and you might have other responsibilities, but still,
Yeah.
like even on that duplex, like a 3-bed, 2-bath. Say like for that style, what's the square footage per side?
It's just under 2,000. I
Okay,
would say each
per side.
Yep.
So
Still huge.
that's a $350,000 house if you're buying it a rent. Or is that's 2 stories? Isn't
2-story.
It? Okay.
Yep.
Dang.
So it's like that's a $300 and some $1,000 house. Like whatever your mortgage payment on just that would be $2,300 a month. So
Yeah.
probably more actually.
Yeah, I think it's got a gas fireplace too.
Damn.
It's pretty nice, Joe. I would.
Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Maybe Grace and I'll just rent out the other side.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, that actually wouldn't be a bad
Wouldn't be
idea.
bad at all.
Josh probably doesn't want dogs there though.
No.
You guys could move in with me.
Look at that.
There you go.
Newlyweds?
Newlyweds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll stay out the way.
If you hear it rocking, don't come in.
Oh,
knocking.
yeah.
I'll go take the dog for a 30-second walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
30 seconds. Okay. Maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All
That's,
right, cut that.
that's funny.
That's too funny.
You know what, Joe? So if you were to spell sell, how would you spell sell?
Like sell? Like for sale?
sell house fast.
SELL.
SELL, not CELL. There's no
When you-
part of you that wants
When
to
you
spell
say
it with a
when you
C.
said sell,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I thought you meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
But like, if I gave you the phrase "sell house fast," you would probably think with an S.
Yeah.
But you said sell, and then
No, I said
typed
sell house fast.
No, I typed it, and then you said house fast. So
No.
I think there was a little bit of a break.
And then he's like,
Well, then turns out it wasn't even completely different.
"Yeah, that was totally incorrect." But nonetheless,
Yeah.
It's cool that you guys have so much fun working together.
yeah. Why wouldn't
Well, you
you?
got to.
It would just be boring otherwise.
Yeah.
And then if my dad's here,
Then
then
we
it's just
yeah.
we were talking the other day.
Just pick on each
So
other, basically.
no, what he does when he comes into the office, and I don't know if we told you this. So he goes in his office, goes on Facebook, watches videos, and then he leaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what he does.
Yep.
He was doing a little bit extra yesterday. Hey, by the way, have you filed it's BOI
Oh, that's right.
Nope.
filing?
I saw that today.
Yeah.
Need to do that.
Yeah. And it's actually not too difficult. I can help you with
It
it.
doesn't take too long, does it?
No, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You just need your driver's license, like in a photo of it on your computer. But
Yeah.
that's what he was tasked with doing. That he did one of them out of 5. Like,
Yeah.
sweet, I'll do the rest. I'll get it handled. So that's where like a assistant would be
No
helpful.
kidding.
Yeah.
know.
What's the next step for you? Because you had mentioned
Yeah.
wanting to maybe hire out some more stuff.
So and that's where like what I want to do, at least in the somewhat near future, probably next week when we have a little bit more time. I mean, obviously it's the end of the week when we're recording this, but so I'm reading a book right now, and Joe, it's by the same author of Profit First.
Oh, really?
So he wrote a book called Clockwork, and in the book it's essentially how can you, like if you didn't work for the next 4 weeks, would the business keep going or improving at the same level that it is right now? For me, obviously not, because I handle a few different roles. But then specifically what it referred to right now in the book is like in every business, there's a role that every employee has or partner in the business or member that like it's called the queen bee role, that like without the queen bee in the hive,
Yeah.
everything goes to shit.
Right.
Like that's the almighty role that they need to protect. So everyone has that within the company, but figuring out what everyone's is a different sort of situation. So that's where I'm like, we should probably figure that out, at least on our side. And then the things that you're not responsible for, then maybe do less of that, make sure either someone else is doing it or delegating it to the right person, just so you don't have so much overlap. And that's where, like right now, I might be doing things that don't push the needle forward, but they ultimately need to get done. So you just keep filling your schedule with more and more work, but you don't necessarily have the time to accommodate it. So that's where I'm just ideally, and what it suggests that you do in the book is in 18 months from now, schedule a 4-week like sabbatical or vacation,
Right.
and then just disconnect from everything. Now, I don't know if
that-
I'm
is that the
that
test?
committed to it, but that's the test of, okay, can you do this within a year and a half? And it gives you the steps and the processes that you can be completely removed from things and you don't have to worry about things. And it still flourishes as if you're here.
Right.
So that's where I think just being more intentional on it. And like I was telling you, it's after meeting with Ben and talking about just the systems and processes that he has in place is freaking nuts. So I think if we can get more like that, the better it would be probably for our business. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
100%. And that's, because after talking with Ben and everything like that, I think that night I went on my phone and I was just like looking on YouTube, different stuff for just about how to scale, like scaling businesses, but also how to not be creating a business just to be another job for yourself and actually be like that CEO. And there's so much stuff out there just like that I realize that we take on all this responsibility and basically because we know how to do it, which is
Correct.
is fine. And I don't know, for some reason we just kind of got in this like trend where we'll just take the next task and just do it anyways instead of actually delegating it to the right person maybe to do it.
Correct.
And leave you some time to actually focus on the big stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's like the biggest thing right now. I'm guilty of it too.
Well, I
where
think everyone is.
we're able to find there's enough to figure out to fill in busy
Yeah.
time and just to stay busy, feel like you're
Yeah.
getting stuff done. But at the same time, like if you have like 3 main goals to get done that day, the chances are that you might get maybe 1 or 2 done, but then
Correct.
the rest is the other one will get lost because you just start doing other stuff or someone asks you to do something. You're like, yeah, I'll run materials over there and that, but they really shouldn't be asking you to do maybe the material run, someone else should. So it just comes down to finding the right people, hiring, either it's hiring more people or having automations and stuff like that.
Correct.
That'll
And I think
allow you to have
There's
that
a
extra
lot
time.
that probably can be automated, but then there's certain things that are obviously laborious. Like you have to have the physical labor side of things. But I think so many people who start up a business or are whatever part of a business, it's like if you know how to do it, it's easier. Like
Right.
the concept is it's easier just to do it yourself and then it's done.
Right.
And you don't, whether it's from this, probably from the like just being scared about hiring other people and giving out responsibility. But what are your thoughts on that? That was the weakest fucking cough I've ever heard.
So, well, basically, I think like it's easier in a lot of cases just to do it in the moment.
Correct.
Like what
Yeah.
you guys were just
Yeah.
saying. Like, and for me personally, like I have a lot of my mind can easily become overstimulated with stuff going on if I have 10 different tasks throughout the day that I'm bouncing around to. I just don't get things done.
Yeah.
Or I'm not productively getting things done. Whereas like I think it does take a component of planning and to sit down a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance and say, hey, this is my schedule. This is what I have to follow. This is what I have to do. And, I think a lot of people don't really do that because they're so focused on what's immediately right in front of them. Me included, right?
Yeah.
Like every
Same
day
here.
I'm doing that same thing. So,
Yeah.
I think it's just like legitimately like operating as a business. Like it's like you look at any full-fledged business and it, like so many businesses are guilty of this. Like the owner is doing whatever bookkeeping stuff or whatever. It's like there's specific roles within a company that if you're going to be a business of any sort, you should operate that way. But it's like, how do you learn that without actually going through these experiences? Because it's not taught. Like there's no school for, hey, even if you go to business school, like starting up something and going through that is, I don't know. I don't know where you gain those skills unless you're actually experiencing it.
And I think like the biggest thing is that when you get into like the entrepreneurship kind of mindset, you're thinking, okay, I got to grind this out.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah,
I
just
got to
keep hustling.
hustle, do everything myself, teach myself everything that I need to do, instead of like taking the time to learn 5 different things. Let me get good at one thing, and then find 4 people that can actually do the other 4 things way better than I could if I took a year or 2 years of just learning it. And it's going to happen overnight because the people are already ready. They have the knowledge. All you got to do is implement the processes and everything like that. Now, that's also like a hard thing to be able to actually, I guess, take that next step and hire someone and pay them, because no one really knows how that's actually going to turn out. Are they going to be doing a good job, just as good as you, or better? Or are they going to do worse? So that's always, I think that's probably our biggest block, is figuring out, do we actually, I feel like we just don't hire as many people as maybe we could, but at the same time,
It's like you want to have a margin, though.
you want
that's where I'm like,
you don't want to spend money and then you're ended up like, because you hired these people, business starts going downhill because now you're spending way more money on all these salaries and everything like that, but it's not really improving anything in the business. But I think that's a risk that you need to take at some point if we want to keep on growing, instead of like we've been talking about, literally just being in a job and have to take on all those responsibilities.
I think I want to just add to that a little bit to what you were just saying. Like, so when you're hustling and when you're doing stuff, you also equally can give yourself leash if you're your own boss, right? Like, I did great this month. Look at what I've done. Look what I've accumulated. Look at, it's super easy on days too to just say, you know what, I don't really have to do that. And it's like, I had to start thinking of myself, put myself in a CEO position and look at me, Josh, as an employee. If I was an employee to myself, would I be satisfied with with what I'm doing? Am I doing what I would do as an employee, or would I be fired? And, it's like, it's not easy being hard on yourself sometimes, but if you're not doing your phone calls, if you're not following up, you have no one to blame but you. Correct. And I think what you said, Carter, too, it's, you don't want to hire someone to hire someone. Like, if you guys send a mailer, you know what your ROI is going to be relatively. So if you're going to put someone in position, that better produce a return, or at least enough return to justify you taking the time to build the position and to hire them, because there is maintenance that comes with hiring people,
of course,
and quality control and all that stuff. So
but like, if you're also kind of going back or going off of that, when you do hire someone, the reason you're doing that is to take that task off your table, and hopefully then that extra time allows you to coach them, teach them what to do, show them the right way, and you have that extra time to do that, so you're not actually having to make all these other phone calls, go on these appointments.
But let me ask you this:
a transition time.
So what if, like, say you hire someone and you're delegating like stuff out, and this is what I brought up in the book. Like, you want to delegate all these things, but then, like, hey, the responsibility is they're supposed to be doing this, but then they come to you, and you're explaining to them on everything, even no matter how long they've been working, like how to do it. Then it's essentially you're just it's a glorified mentorship. Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm like, well, if you find the right person for the right seat, then it obviously eliminates a lot of that. But I don't know, it's almost the belief in yourself that you can hire someone, you have what it takes, and it would really, you almost have to listen to your own advice. Like, I know I've said this to people before, but hiring that next person is definitely worth it. But it's just getting over that hurdle of like wanting to do it or needing to do it, or you just burn yourself into the ground.
I guess let me ask you both this question. So what was like the main reason why you guys got into starting like real estate business and everything like that? Like, what was your plan with that? That the whole reason to actually start it? Like, what was your, I guess, thought process?
I got into real estate because Carter.
Yeah. But I guess I got into it because the potential that it has to create a crazy amount of wealth. And it's, I guess, on the front side of things, you don't understand the amount of work that goes into it. You're naive to it. but it is to create that like a business, a lifestyle
Right.
from that. And I don't know if, again, I don't know if real estate is that business in order to do it. Like you can, obviously it can be.
Yeah,
Like it's
obviously.
without, it's like any other business, but you just need to have the right structure in place. And without that, I don't know. It's just another, it's a glorified job. It's a very high paying job, but
Yep.
it's a glorified job with a lot of work and probably a lot more risk than what most people are used to. But I think it can be worth it.
Yeah.
And for most people it is if they stick with it. But
No,
Yeah.
I agree. And like, I guess kind of ask
yeah,
a question for you, Carter. When it came to deciding, okay, I want to, like, your dad and,
Yeah,
and yourself,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, let's start a house flipping
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Let's actually go full, I guess 100% into this and start flipping properties and everything like that. Were you going into that thinking, okay, I just want to make as much money as possible? Or were you thinking, how can I start a business and get this thing going from $0 to making a whole bunch of money? Like, what were you trying to have a plan, I guess, to do that?
well, was there a plan? No. Like
Okay.
there was no legitimate, like, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, it's just, can we do this?
Yeah.
Okay. We did one successfully. We did a couple successfully. You just keep scaling it up in hopes that it grows to something. I would have never guessed that we're at where we're at today. But even on that side of things, there was never like this business around it.
Right.
Because like my dad has never run a full-fledged business that he's been taken out of. So me looking to someone for a reference point that's a little bit difficult
100%.
because I even look at, and I got flamed in the comments for my previous comment on contractors, but a lot of contractors it's a very, very high paying job. Like they're doing all the labor, they're doing all the work, but they get paid very well for it. And it's no different than the real estate business. Like if you're flipping houses, like you might not be working on them, but you're finding the deal, you're dispositioning the deal, you're organizing the contractors to do it. But if you're not there, nothing's getting done.
Right.
So
It's not a legitimate.
No, it's-
unless you can structure it as a business, it's
Yeah.
not a legitimate business. It's a sole proprietorship,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
basically what it is.
and that's, I don't know what like it makes me think about the fact of like you look at all these operations and you look at all the people and everything that's being done and how many people, like say you take a poll of 100 business owners, whether it's a full-fledged business or not, how many do you think if they left tomorrow would be like completely functioning without their involvement? I feel like it would be probably less than 5.
Yeah, I was going to say probably
Pairs.
80-90%
Yeah.
would be
Just
including.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely I'm on the same path, and that's where I'm like, what do you do to get out of that other than like again learning how to do it, putting in the right systems, the people, the processes, that it doesn't necessarily matter, and that goes for everyone in the job. Like if so and so is not here, what's the like what happens if they are not here? Does that responsibility fall onto someone else, or do we have processes in place for that? And it's no different, and that's where like I forget that because you're like, hey, I'm always going to depend on this person. But even when like my dad left for the first time for Florida, we did not have everything in order, so we had to learn throughout the process. But then when they left the second time,
Yeah.
it was fine.
It was a lot
like
easier.
we had the processes in place.
Yeah,
So
it's a good point.
yeah.
It's a really good point.
And I don't know, how difficult do you think it is to learn that part of the business until you're actually in it? Do you think you can learn it beforehand and then implement, or do you think you have to learn through trial and error?
I think it's really like where's your attention at with everything, right?
Yeah.
Like for me personally, that's just speaking on
Yeah.
my experience. When I started, I knew nothing about running a business.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about like my goal was to make money and to try to survive.
Correct.
Like, right. I'm going to try to get transactions, try to help people out, build up a client base. Now that, I've been doing it for 5 years, I'm finally starting to look at like, hey, instead of I'm going to go out today and, you basically eat what you kill.
Yep.
I'm going to start planning and orchestrating things to help me do that long term where
Yeah.
I don't maybe need to be involved. And, the same thing is like you just said, if you're planning and you're not executing, you don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would almost rather just say I'm going to continue to try to
That's what-
execute and just,
Yeah.
if I'll throw shit at the wall, and if it
I know.
hits, you know, it's what it is.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's all about being intentional. Because I think the less intentional you get, the less you think about it. And I know for a while I was just, like, you have all these goals, these aspirations, and then you plan for them. It's like, how can I achieve this? But then you get so caught up in the doing of it that you're like, fuck, I'm not, like, this is not happening. Or
Right.
I shouldn't say it's not happening. Like, everything's being achieved, but it's not the ideal outcome. Like, the money is awesome. But then you're like, well, shit, I've been working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks to get it done. Like, why are we not hiring people to do this or finding someone else to do this? But
And I think it comes down to like setting up a specific like goal that everybody is on board with, and then constantly every single day be having that on top of mind. So then when it comes to taking actions, like you're taking actions to achieve that goal and get one step closer to that goal versus, you know, someone's asking you to do something or the thought of creating this or that, and you realize, okay, that's actually not going to help me.
Yeah.
That's busy work. That's not going to get me towards my goal. I'm going to focus on these other 3 tasks that actually are going to help me out, and making that distinctive, I guess, decision in your own head. That's kind of the biggest thing, is being able to kind of hold yourself accountable and be like, that's going to take me off track. I need to get back on track and work on this. That stuff obviously needs to get done, but that's what someone else can do.
yeah. What, Josh, in your business, and we're all in, what is that?
I keep on hitting this thing down.
Joe's got his dildo strapped to the table.
Dongle.
But in like your business, which is obviously very similar to ours, what do you think is the number one, like, basically thing that moves the needle every single day for you?
So I can't put it on one, but I'll give you 2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah,
Two-
whichever
2 it is. It's a combination of outreach or contact outward, obviously, or relationships. Those 2 things I could probably say create 90 to 95% of all my
Revenue.
right? Marketing, there's ancillary things, right? Like someone can see your sign or someone can, you know,
Correct.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But relationships,
Yeah.
far, I mean, if you want to talk about getting like automated with your business, like if you can just build a process that's so good for your customer or whoever you're working with that they can refer you, like, dude, those are easy sales. And plus the people that you work with like to, you know, they already trust you. They already like you. You know, they
They had success with you, so
Yeah, I
you're going to
know.
want to pass that on to another family member, friend, and basically tell them like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He can buy your house quick, and it's easy, fast. Go with him.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's where I think, like, and I think it all comes down to relationships, if I'm being honest. But like, I look at what I do and I'm like, I feel like the most important role that I have to the business is lead generation and marketing. Because without that, the business is gone.
Right.
right.
Like, that's where then the second most important is talking to homeowners. But then, like, that's also a role that you have.
Right.
So it's like we split that responsibility, but for you, it might be, hey, talking with homeowners, meeting with homeowners in person, and then that pushes the needle forward. And it's just, I think there's so many vital parts of the business that, and you can have more than one, but just nailing those things down and then being like, hey, like, this is the focus. And if 2 people are doing 2 of the same things, then I don't know, maybe that's a good thing. And you have to have multiple responsibilities, but it's figuring it out.
Yeah. I guess, like, if all those tasks and all those things were taken care of for you, the marketing, the sales, what would be the, like, having all that free time, what would be the thing you'd be focused on? Yeah. What would be that next, I guess?
What would be how to grow and, like, scale the business? Like,
Right.
that's honestly because I even think, like, say, because I created a list and it's no shit, it's fucking 3 pages of, like, things that I do. Like, and this is really nuanced. Like, it goes into, like, listing of properties, like, hey, scheduling, staging, ordering photos, filling out the listing paperwork, sending the DocuSign, like, all these different things that are involved with it. I'm like, if I didn't have to do all of these things and I was focused on 4 of them, well, then it's like, okay, sending out marketing, making sure the advertising is working, tracking the numbers associated with it, and then how do we scale that up to get better and bigger results?
Right.
And therefore, it creates more income. It's a income generating activity, but I think of it from that side of things, and
Right.
I don't know. But I enjoy, again, meeting with the homeowners and the deal, like the deal in and of itself. I think the structure of the deal is so exciting, but it's just like chasing the next high in the
Right.
sense.
Right. No, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say I definitely love just chasing deals.
It's so
As
exciting.
cheesy as that sounds, or whatever, but yeah, it is like a high.
It is.
And like it's a shot of dopamine, basically.
I know.
yeah,
And like when you get it, like that, I don't think there's honestly, especially with real estate, it's like in the margins obviously make up
Yeah.
for it, but it is such a thrill. It's like, hey, they're going with our offer or
Right.
whatever it is. And hopefully it's a decent deal, but even in the not so great situations, still pretty cool. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say it's like 90% of the time it's not about the money at all.
Correct.
You know, it's like
Yeah,
as long as I
normally, yeah.
can pay your bills and
Yeah.
stuff, it's like when you figure something out that you're racking your brain
know.
on, and it's like when you played video games as a kid and you're trying to beat a certain level
Yeah.
for like the longest time, and when you
Yeah.
like hit
And
it
Halo.
perfectly, you do everything perfect
know.
and you do it, and you're like,
Hell yeah.
it's just different.
It is. That's kind of the cool part about it. And I think business is like it's a never ending battle on that side because you can always improve. You can always get better. You can always systemize things. But it's like to what extent and what extent do you want to? Like what does it allow you to do in your life? Like what is the focus? Is kind of the other thing.
Yeah. Well, like you guys probably noticed this, but like, do you realize how many levels there are to the business game?
Oh, it's
Especially the
insane.
more you look, you're
Yeah.
like,
So many.
you're like, yeah, I'm getting
know.
here, and then you look and you're
And
like,
then you're like, oh shit, I'm a novice.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
I know, and it's like you learn these things, and that's where I think it's such a shame that like you do not learn that until you're actually experiencing it. Like why isn't it taught in public school or wherever, private school, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like this is what you're going to have to face when you're going into business. Like these are the things you should probably hire a bookkeeper right away, or you should know bookkeeping. You should probably get the right insurances in place. You should probably have an accounting software. You need all these different things so you don't fuck it up along the way. And if you
Right.
don't have that, well, you're going to learn a lot of lessons, and some of them might be the difficult way, some of them might not be, but I don't know why that's not discussed more.
I feel like that's the main reason is because school, like in my opinion, I think school is like the whole reason for it is created to create employees.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to create CEOs, not
Yeah.
to create any sort of, business, I guess, owners or anything like that. That's why they're teaching you all the things about how to take orders from people and how to go through
Yeah.
the tasks that are laid out in front of you, get this done, make sure it's on time, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of schools, definitely have some sort of, I guess, class that does go into how to create businesses. I took some at UWO,
Yeah.
and that was just eye-opening. I'm like, why is this not taught more
Correct.
often? But there's also a lot of people, not everybody's going to be a boss or
Yeah,
a CEO.
that's true.
So that's kind of the thing. They kind of look at the numbers as like, out of everybody in this school, there's probably 2-3 people that are going to be owning their own business. Everybody else is going to be working for them, basically.
I was going to ask you guys this, but do you think that everyone could be a business owner?
No.
Or do you think
No. Like you don't even have to
No.
finish the question. I don't think
Well,
it's
I
possible.
don't think everybody has maybe the drive to be one.
Yeah.
okay, so drive. What other things do you guys think differentiate those two, the employee and the
Business owner?
business owner?
Risk tolerance.
Okay.
I think that's probably one of the top contributing factors.
Yep. Just comfortability.
Yeah.
They want to be secure, know
Mm-hmm.
that checks are coming in regularly. They don't have to worry about it. And not everybody wants to build a business
Mm-hmm.
and make a lot of money. They would rather make a decent,
Yeah.
decent salary and then spend the rest of their time with family and
Correct.
friends and
That's where-
experience life that way, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I think the balance comes, juggling business and then also family and friends and having that sort of, I guess, limbo effect that you're trying to constantly be doing.
Yeah. Because I look at, like, Katie, for example, she would have no interest in, like, she likes going into work, doing work, leaving, not worrying about it.
Yep.
But for me, like, there's this innate, like, drive to be like you're always thinking about it. Like, it is always top of mind no matter what. And you cannot get it off your mind. And then when you're not working or not doing things, your mind is wrapped around the thought of, well, how can we improve this or that? And it's probably not a healthy thing, but I think with some business owners, there's this innate ability to keep trying to achieve that next level. And then, like, you achieve it, and then you might shoot for another one or whatever. And that might not be a great thing. But there's this level of achievement and fulfillment that you get from it, that I at least get from it. I'm like, shit, like, even buying some of these properties that we bought, I'm like, fuck. Like, when in your mind would you ever thought, like, buying commercial building, storage units, like apartment units, rental properties? It's like in a matter of less than 10 years for everyone. Like, that's freaking nuts.
It's just fucking sick. You ever just look at a property that you have or drive past and you're like, dude, I actually own this thing.
And how many people, like, aspire to do that same thing?
Yeah.
And we're, like, I'm 28. Josh?
26.
27.
Yeah. So it's like we're all, like, under 30. And then I look at people who are even younger and they've achieved certain things. I'm like, fuck. Like, that's like, you just have such a runway. But that's kind of the inspirational part about it. And I don't think you sit back and realize that. Like, I don't do it. Like, I've done so more, and this is probably where, like, faith comes into it a little bit. But, like, reflecting, and if you're, whatever your religion is, or if you have faith or if you don't have faith, but the actual reflection time of whenever, if you read the Bible or whatnot. But that's where, for me, I'm like, dang. Like, this is all God's plan or whatever you believe. But these things are all falling into place. You have to go through the hardships. You have to go through the difficulties. But, like, you're right here. Like, your possibilities are potentially endless. So that's just kind of cool to me.
No, I agree. And, like, I don't know, I see it as business is a game.
Yep.
And growing up through sports, like, you always had that next game to go to. You had to prepare. And when you beat them, like, it was such a great feeling. And that's kind of how business is played. Like, you kind of keep on moving forward. You got that next game, you close it, perfect, keep moving on. And I'm just always, like, I personally am always just chasing for, like, another dealer, that another high of achievement, getting better, keep climbing that ladder, even though, it might never end, but
it's still cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Just things get more expensive.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you just find more expensive things to buy.
Corvette.
Yeah.
Yep. Corvette, Ford Raptor, whatever it may be.
What happened to the house, Joe? I don't know. We just bought a Corvette.
Yeah, Josh, what did you say?
Yeah. Can't drive a house 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, on that note, we can wrap because I don't know how long this camera's going to last on the right-hand side, but
Yeah.
good episode, boys.
Yeah.
So peace, hit the like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.
See you later.